So I've been a bad YouTuber today. Done a lot of work and haven't made any video. It's a Monday afternoon. Normally I just have about an hour to come out in the garage and maybe tidy up a couple of small things, and so I don't normally make a video. But things got a little carried away today. The kids are busy, so I got to doing work, and boy, I made a whole mess, and just trying to figure out where to start. So the real issue is I'm still having problems overheating, which I believe I can clearly tell using a laser thermometer and pointing it down here where the thermostat housing is, and I'm not getting flow through the thermostat, which either means that I have an air pocket and water's not moving, or my thermostat's bad. Since it's a brand new thermostat and I tested it before I put it in, the thermostat's not bad unless it got plugged, which seems highly unlikely because I've flushed it, cooled the system 3 or 4 times at this point. So I think I have a problem with air pockets, which is not uncommon in these 818s. So I was getting ready to try and address it. Some guys on the forum had told me about putting an extra bleed line in, some things like that. When I realized that I had this nice AC unit sitting here that had to tie into the cooling system and was going to create more complications to the bleeding and filling of the AC system. So I decided I needed to get it plumbed up and know exactly how that was going to affect the system before I started making other modifications. So I got into getting the AC unit out of the dash. Very cool looking unit with some billet mounting plates, completely integrated, separate dash, defrost, and foot. All electric servos. Very nice unit from Resto Mod Air. It's their Bantam unit. It's the second smallest unit they had. They had a unit that was slightly smaller, but it didn't have completely separate floor and defrost. Those were shared. And so I went with this one. It's a non-Bluetooth module. I didn't want Bluetooth. So I got it kind of held up under the dash where I thought I wanted it to go. And then I thought, well, I should probably actually look at the dash. So I went and pulled the dash out of the storage unit and laid it up there. And what I was really thinking about doing was moving this bar here, cutting it and shortening the angle here so I would have room for all 5 of those vents, because they kind of sit right under this bar, to come all the way up, and I could move the AC unit higher. And so I went and I got the dash and I set it in, and I realized I could move it up, but when you look at how the dash sits, the bar is here, so you can't think about the dash being here, but in reality, you look at the steering wheel, the dash really comes all the way out here. It comes out a good 10-12 inches past this bar. And so in reality, moving it up wasn't really going to gain me a lot. The only thing that's really down there is just your toes. It's not like your whole foot sits down there. It's actually pretty far back. And so without moving that bar, it sits high enough. So that's kind of where I'm at now, as I'm getting ready to drill the holes to mount this thing. I've got the first one done. I actually, so the Resto Mod people send you some really nice weld-in studs so that you can have a clean firewall on the back side where you mount this and not have studs sticking through. But I have aluminum panels and I can't weld their steel to this aluminum. And secondly, I don't exactly have a clean firewall panel anyway. I got stuff mounted all over it. So I'm just going to do a bolt in. Really where I wound up with the first bolt hole I wanted was in the middle of a frame rail, which is probably a good thing because these aluminum panels aren't super stiff. So now I'm going to have, I tapped it. I tapped that frame rail and put a bolt in, or a piece of all thread in. So now I'm going to have at least one corner actually bolted into a frame rail, so it should support good. So I've made myself a little template of where all the holes need to be drilled. And I got a line that I need to get level. The other problem I have is that obviously I've got a 1-inch offset here, so these two will be fine, but these two on this side, I don't even know if you can see my hand where I'm holding the camera, but the two on the passenger side will be fine. The two on the driver's side are going to need a 1-inch spacer on them. So, or whatever the length, the width of that pipe is, I'm pretty sure it's 1 inch. So, Yep, I got the time lapse going, so I'll get back to work now that I've kind of brought the video up to speed. Alright, have the evaporator holes drilled, and I got 2 bolts holding up the firewall, and an absolute mess here. Obviously with the dash hanging down and everything, but this is where the AC unit sits. I've got about 1 inch I could come this way if I wanted to, which would let me raise it up about 1 inch as well, if I need to, but I don't know what 1 inch is going to buy me. I'm a little over 6 foot, and that's the size 11 shoe, and I can comfortably put my feet down there. It actually tucks up behind the units on both sides. Most likely you have 1 foot on the dead pedal anyway. So I don't know that 1 inch buys me a whole lot, and if I raise it up 1 inch, you get really tight trying to get these vents piped up because they're right up under this bar here. So I think I'm happy with where it's at. Like I said, when you put the dash in, it comes all the way out to about right here. So that's pretty far up under there. I've certainly been in the cars with a lot more foot room, but I've also been in bigger cars with less foot room. So I think I'm okay with it right there. And should be pretty level. That's inside the bubble. Maybe just a little bit that way. Yeah. I could drill a hole out, make it more level, but it'll drain just fine like it is, which is all you're really worried about is the condensate draining. So now I got to figure out where I'm putting my bulkhead, because unlike the vintage air units, which have 4 pipes sticking out the firewall into the engine bay or front bay in this car, the Resto Mod Air unit has your 2 heater pipes there and your 2 AC here, and it expects you to use a bulkhead. So now I've got to figure out where I'm going to put a bulkhead. I have room for it. Not a whole lot of room to work up here, so the bulkhead is not here yet. So the bulkhead will probably be here in 4 or 5 days, and I'll be able to figure out exactly where I'm going to put it. I doubt there's room right here, and even if there was, that'd be some pretty tight curves to get all this into there. Other options are maybe to come right over here, right in the middle of the dash, kind of hidden behind the center console. That would require me to bring these probably around up under the dash, here. I certainly don't want to be putting it down here and eating into the little bit of foot room I have left. And I don't, right here, maybe if the interior panel closes this off, and that's not an actual dead pedal like I thought it was. I need to look at how the interior panel, I don't think there is an interior panel though, so I think this is it. And I don't think I would want to eat into this much space here. I like the fact that can be used as a dead pedal, so I don't think I want to put it over there. So either in this corner, or if the door's not in the way, right here. Otherwise, we're going to be going dead center.